All right. What is it? Why do I have all these things? These are Here's the medal that I got when I graduated from as a computer programmer. This is my alto honor, high honor, and this was the National Veterans uh, had a craft arts and craft competition, and I won in a special category for my song. What my song and my now my narration, my words in the song "Why the Stroke," "Why the Stroke," and that goes through all the stages of grief, and those things happen, right? It's been 40 months since I had the stroke, and yesterday, thank God, I was able to go to the men's meeting, Iron Man, and so that was really great going over there. Uh, by the way, this is my pendant. This is my life alert. I think I don't know what it is. This is actually this is not life alert, but it's like a cell phone. I just press this thing and I'll be connected with the 911 operator. And if I'm over here and I need help, we can always see if I could whistle and wake up somebody, wake up my son or whoever's around. And what else? Well, I think I'm getting banned from Facebook again. The first time happened last year, 2024, in October, and I guess I was saying too many bad things about Biden. But I wasn't alone. I hear that there's a lot of people that it happened to. As a matter of fact, Facebook just settled. I don't know how much they settled for, but I heard one person told me they got $30 out of it. so, I guess it was more of a headache and more and more people expecting a lot more money than what was really actually given. So go figure. I mean, as you know now, uh, Zuckerberg is good friends now with the president, and well, I wouldn't say good friends, but they I saw him go over there to the with all the big tech guys over, and they had that meeting with President Trump, and Bill Gates was there, and all these other guys. I don't know if Elon was there, seeing that he's at that time. I think he was still owning X, but it's good that they get to talking with these people. I just wish that they would. I wish it wasn't a private company because Facebook you get a lot of you get a lot of how do you say a lot of views. They're paying now with the stars and this and that, and people joining. Just like they do in YouTube. So I mean, YouTube they ban people all the time. It's their company. It's private. Facebook, same thing. Maybe I'll go to maybe I'll see if I could do something else or start my own. I don't know. Maybe I'll get my own website. See if I can get like a chat thing there and a blog thing there. Get a get a movie player so I can make my own movie and charge people to go to my website and see the movie. Maybe make a comedy movie. I've always been messing around with an idea of making a movie. Now that AI is so good, I could probably get away with it. I could probably do it. Maybe a mix between real life and AI. Because there's some things I wouldn't want to try it might be too expensive to do a couple of things that I'm thinking about. You know, and that's something that probably you could do it on AI, and people would at least get the idea. You know, and they might even laugh at it. I don't know. But anyway, that's gonna be mine. But first, I want to finish the artificial intelligence engineering course. It's been a little while since I've done anything with video editing, but I do like to see videos. I would like to learn how to video edit because there is an opportunity out there to get work in that video editing, and I know you could do that also with artificial intelligence. So I'm going for the big one. I'm going for the Azure Microsoft Artificial Intelligence Engineering Professional Certificate. The final exam is $100 per shot. You pass it, fine, you get the certification. You don't pass it, well, you got to pay the $100 again. So you better know everything like the back of your hand. It's, there's no if, and, or buts about it, huh? And it's on Coursera, of course. So pay 59 a month, or I think it's like I don't know, it's $25 less if you buy it on a year. So 60 times 12 is 720. And if you reduce that by 12 times 25 would be 300. Would it be 300? I don't know. I'm a little tired. I didn't have my coffee yet. So, it's 4:48 in the afternoon. This is my siesta time. But I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put a video out there. I need for people to like and subscribe this, man. That's what I need. I want to get viewers so that this way, when I start doing these nature videos, I can get like some subscribers. I would like to make like maybe go out and take pictures of some of these people's gardens, some of this nature we got here, and maybe get my drone and go out there and see if I can get close up to some nests, bird's nest. That might be okay. Going up to a bird's nest, I don't know. I've seen some cardinals here. I mean, you would think they really stand out, but once they get in that grass, once they get into the trees, you they kind of like blend in. So far here, I've seen a lot of hawks. I've seen eagle. Of course, they do have a lot of eagles nests over here because you can see them really easily because they're all put them like on these big poles and stuff. You can see really big nests, and I guess the babies come out right away because they don't, the parents don't destroy the nest. I've heard that what some eagles do is that if they see that the chick is big enough to fly, they will actually keep on taking stuff out of the nest until it collapses, and the bird is obligated to try to fly, and if not, well, the male bird will swoop down and catch it before it falls. So that's uh, that's how nature protects itself. That's the how do you say the intelligence that God has given to these animals, these birds. And keeping on the subject, I've heard that female eagles will actually go high. They will take a big log with them and throw it down, and the male has to go down and grab it, and she might get even a bigger one and throw it down, and he might go down there and have to grab it, keep it from hitting the ground because she doesn't want to make the wrong choice and then find out that this guy can't fly right or he can't he can't protect the baby, you know. So I think women should test their guys, to see if he's gonna protect, provide, bring home the bacon, and keep the chick safe. Make the nest. Gotta have the nest. You gotta have the how do you say the protection angle where you can protect the babies, and of course, you know, eagles are known for being predators. From far away. I've heard that from a very great distance. They can see even underwater, and they can zoom down, and catch fish, and keep on going. Sometimes they get greedy and they'll grab a fish that weighs more than them, and you know they can't really fly away with that, and they don't wanna give it up. So maybe what they do is, maybe if they can, they'll fly to the side, I guess, and try to eat it there, or they'll go they'll go down with the ship. They have to let it go or drown or something, because they sometimes they grab fish that are too big. So yeah, that's the animal kingdom gives you a lot of how do you say a lot of examples of how you should live. You know that whole thing about getting a nest, and then getting a woman, and then starting a family. That's biblical. It's not like now, when now women, especially I've seen, well, here in the Philippines, you get these young women, they get pregnant, very early, and then they it's messed up their whole life. It's messed up their whole life. What's going on? You know, they should learn from nature. Nature, you know, if they look at the birds, the birds, they the female will choose the male based on how good he's looking, how he can provide, what kind of nest he's building. Sometimes they go and inspect the nest, and then they'll choose who is the best candidate. Right? I've seen that many times, and it makes sense, because it's a life that's at stake. It's a the uh, the continuation of the species, of their kind. So maybe that's why the dodo isn't around anymore. Obviously they they was slacking off. It was slacking off, and that's what happened. And the female dodos were like, hey, you're not cutting it. So we're gonna go on strike, like there was, like these women were saying before, that they were gonna go on strike. No more sex or nothing. But I don't think that really lasted too long, because even though they say that they don't care about sex, or they can live without sex, why would they even talk about that, right? Obviously, it's an issue. And just like any car needs to get their oil changed every 3,000 miles. You got to get the you got to get the transmission oil changed. Some of them are sealed, but even those, I mean, even that, the mechanics would make a hole in there, tap a hole in there, and put a screw in afterwards. And then they talk about that's at 40,000 miles, I think, and at 100,000 miles or 120, they're talking about doing the whole engine, rebuilding the engine, taking it out, and rebuilding that mother. Take it out, take out the pistons, see how they're doing, change any parts that need to be changed. Maybe they have, where that carbon buildup or something in those pistons. I don't know. Maybe the rings are already wasted, and that's the reason why that oil keeps on going through. I don't know. You tell me. Yeah? But anyway, the I'll just find some other way to make money. I just got a small little body cam, and I think it recorded. think it recorded. I got to check it out. I finally got a card. Somebody, somebody's making. I don't know, but anyway, um, I just got some kind of message there. I don't know what it is. Without my glasses, I can't see at this distance. This is what more than my arm's length, so it's a little bit more than what I'm used to. And like I said, I don't have my glasses on me. That's about the only thing I don't have around my chest here. My glasses. Why don't I wear them? That's a good question. Well, first of all, my how do you say, my prescription changes quite frequently. Ever since I had the stroke 40 months ago, my left eye will it will change quite rapidly because my it was my whole left side that had the it was my whole left side that got affected. So I think it's my right side of my brain that actually had the stroke, double stroke actually. And I always like to say the first one hit on that previous Wednesday, and I wasn't feeling too good. My my ex had was wanting me to take the car to get the oil changed because, as everybody knows, they don't allow women to drive and to get their oil changed. That's a law. That's the law. I am the law. I am the law. And I really wasn't feeling good to be driving around. And then the next week, and that's when I got the other stroke. And they tell me, well, you had two strokes. You had one last week, and now you had one this week. So I think the first one hit the part of the brain that was already damaged from all the drugs and all the acid and the cocaine and the heroin and all the pills that I've taken and all these other stuff. I think that's where that first one hit. So that was already dead. And then the second one, that's the one that changed me. I was like Lord Sidious when he had gotten into that fight with Master Windu and he and the Jedi, and then he said he got deformed. And he says, "The fight with the Jedi has left me deformed." You know, because but in my case, it wasn't really the physical part. I mean, you could tell it was physical. I mean, if you see me walking around, I mean, I was when it first happened, I could barely walk. I could barely get up from my bed. It was the whole trip, my arm and my shoulder, my arm. It was always having spasms. Hasn't changed now for 40 months, and the same thing with my leg. And I've been after them to cut it off. I don't know what. No, we need to get a surgeon. We need to get a psychiatrist. We need to get the neurologist. So, you know, I'm waiting now for the community care to call me up. Well, they're not gonna call now because it's 5 o'clock. But and I don't know if that's gonna really affect the government shutdown. I don't think it is because that's the VA hospital. That's different. Maybe if it was another service, maybe. You know, if you have like a FHA loan or something, I don't know, or a VA loan for a house, VA house, or I don't know. That might be something that might be something different. But the I don't know exactly what this government shutdown is going to affect. I know it did kind of affect the Social Security Administration, even though they say that they're still working. But I called them the other day, and they called me back. I don't know, maybe I don't even remember how long it took. I really don't. But then I had to call them back again because I couldn't get past the facial recognition part of it. I guess my face has changed since I last had my license, or something. I don't know. Well, not only that, but they wanted me to take a picture of the license and then stay there with the camera going towards my face. And I was like, I can't hold the camera still that long. I mean, I could do it if I'm holding, I guess, with my right hand, but even that might be shaking too much. I don't know. And then you gotta. I mean, if I gotta go and I gotta, you know, I'm holding it and then pressing it with the other one. So maybe that's what I gotta do. I don't know. But I wasn't able to get past the facial recognition part of it. So I'm not able to get the a PIN number that they need to change the bank information for my deposits, for my Social Security deposit. Because right now I'm with a bank. I don't want to say, and I want to go to another bank. Okay, so uh, that's what we got going on there. I'm getting. It looks like I'm getting banned from Facebook again. I just got a notification that I was banned, and then it said that I can't appeal. I cannot appeal. And then I signed back in, and I was able to do it. But I got in touch with a couple of people through Facebook Messenger and gave them my telephone number. And hopefully I can get in touch with them through WhatsApp, even though they're the same company, Facebook and WhatsApp. Maybe I can make a website where I can have my own blog, and maybe that might be good because this way I could control it all. I take over my world. What are we going to do today, Brain? Pinky, we're gonna take over the world. Yeah. What has been happening that was funny? Oh, I was hearing in the Bible. I'm gonna leave that one for another one. No, I'm gonna put it in here. I'm gonna put it in here. Okay. I was reading in the Bible where it was talking about where the Assyrian Empire was coming to take away. They took away Samaria, and then they came, and this is in the time of Hezekiah, and they came and they started talking in the Hebrew language, saying that, oh, we're going to take away this place and we'll pick you up and we'll take you to a place that's just like your place. So I'm saying, well, I'm thinking, if they want to take away somebody to take them to another place that looks just like Israel, why even take them there? I don't know. And then I started thinking, I said, well, if you take somebody from one place, if you take them from from the Bronx where he was raised up, and you put him in Brooklyn, now he's got to start on the whole over again. He's got to start the whole thing over again about getting friends, about seeing where he is on the pecking order. You know, so I think that's going to give me a good idea on how I can uh, get my way as far as having a future wife and a good life. So now, how does that work? Well, when I do it, then I'll let you know. I have a plan already, but the woman has to pass certain tests. What is the test? When it happens, afterwards, if she passes it or if she fails it, well, if she passes it, we're just going to keep on to the next test. If she fails it, I'll cut her loose and I'll let you know. It's going to involve a little bit of money to those tests, but it's worth it. It's worth it. It's better to pay some money and find out who that person is before it's really a good thing, because you don't want to get married and then find out that, hey, this person here, I mean, played the long game on me or whatever, and because I'm not about to get married all that quickly, you know. That's why even if the girl is 17 and not legally to be married outside of their parents signing, what I'll do is I'll say, well, you're 17, that's perfect because it'll take us about a year to get to know each other. And could you imagine me being at 67, 50 years older than a woman, and we're just like Sly Stone said, in the woods a year ago, still checking each other out. Yeah. But you have to be slick. You have to weed out the wannabes, the pretenders, and we may be able to do it. We may be able to do it. May be able to get away with it. I don't know if we can do it, but maybe we can do it. It's always a possibility. So anyway, and I was thinking, why they had the spies. Actually, these Assyrian people, going back to the Assyrians, they must have sent some spies there. And you people who know a little bit about Bible, tell me if I'm right or wrong in this. In the way I heard it when I heard it, I said, it's kind of strange. They were talking bad about Hezekiah. They're saying, "Oh, well, Hezekiah is the one that decided to take away your ability to praise the Lord, and took away the he changed everything, and God told the Assyrian army to come down there and take away Jerusalem, and this and that, and then Hezekiah the king told everybody, no, don't even talk to them, don't even talk to them. There's no conversation. You know. So what did these people do? These Israelites, they started talking to him, saying, "Oh, do not talk in our language. Talk to us in your language. We understand your language." So I'm over here thinking, how can if they understand the Assyrian language, they must have sent people over there to spy on, or get somebody who used to live there, or maybe a businessman who would go over there and trade and bring stuff back or whatever, and take stuff over there and like this, and that's how he made his money. Or or maybe they just sent straight spies over there. We know that Israel loves to send spies. They used to send spies everywhere. And in a way, even Doeg, who was a spy for King Saul. Now, um, also, but there was a lot of lies that was being told by the Assyrians, in so much that uh, after they said all this stuff, that Hezekiah was not doing the right thing, and he was taking away their ability to worship, and this and that, and he was putting up idols here and there, I think it said. And then during the night, an angel came down and slew 185,000 in one shot. Just one angel slew 185,000. Okay, and if I'm not mistaken, they took him. That he went back to Assyria, and his children killed him. His children killed him, and they ran away. And another child of his was put into reign there. Um, Not 100% on this, but at least from what I remember, that might not be too much. I mean, after all my brain cells have been rearranged. Okay, so but you gotta, I started thinking. I said, it's kind of strange how these people, they were sent in to spy the Israelites, and what the complaints were of the people. So they got either the wrong information, Maybe they paid somebody for some information, and they were given a bad bill of goods. You know, Hezekiah was a righteous man. He was a good king. So God helped him out with one angel, just one angel. 185,000 dead. No wonder the Israel's land is so fertile. It has all these bodies on it. All these people have been killed there. It's sort of like after the Civil War. All them bodies, man, they made the soil very fertile. And it's the same thing with Israel. Must be very fertile over there. Well, think about it. Hamas is trying to get it, right? They're trying to take control of it, and the Arabs too. Why? Because that's a blessed land. It's a blessed land. So that's one thing that I was thinking about on the Bible. Another today I was thinking of who made the first T-bone steak. Do you imagine that guy over there? He must have been like chopping up different parts of the chicken, and the cow, and wondering what's the best cuts and how to better prepare it. Well, oh, that's a real yawn now. And I was thinking, who was the first one to have a T-bone? Maybe it was Adam. I mean, I know they sacrificed an animal when they sinned, they made a sacrifice. I think the animal that they sacrificed was a lamb. It could have been anything, I guess. I don't know. The Bible really doesn't say. It just says that God made a covering out of animal skin. So obviously, some animal was killed. I guess it could have been a lamb. Who knows? You know, but that's nasty though. They gotta make sure all the blood is gone. So that I guess they're hanging by his right hind legs, cut it through the neck, let the blood all drain out, and then even after that, when 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 the lady was out, I'm getting to be like Joe Biden now. I'm just very tired now. I'm gonna go to sleep. But yeah, man, I wonder who was the first. Maybe Abel. Abel also had flocks. You know, maybe he was the first one to invent having the T-bone steak. I just love it, man. But that thing puts me asleep too. It's like oxycodone. Like oxycodone number 10. Not that five, but the 10. Yeah. Well, God bless everybody. Let me see if I can take a rest, wake up, and then maybe go to the mall, see if I can get that dash cam working. I think I recorded it okay. I took out the card, the mini card out of my old phone, my old Motorola phone, and I put it in there. I'm gonna look see if I can find the another phone that I had that was cracked. Take out the card out of that one also, and put it in the other dash cam. I got two body cams, and I have a drone. And I don't know if the drone needs a card too. Most likely it does because you know how it is. So maybe I might have to get a card for that and do some videos. Do some nature videos. Do a nature video and then mix it in with music. Mix it in with some music that I've been writing and that I've been doing, putting it on, working at it with Suno.com, and maybe I'll get some acid, not the acid that I used to take, the LSD. No, not that one. Acid, Sony acid, music creation. I think Magix is the one that's taken out now. I think it's called Magix Acid Music Creation. So maybe I can get that, and then maybe I could do some music, and put it in there. Maybe make videos, nature videos of different places. You know, I think that might be good. That might get some views. I know. I love to see that. I love to see. There's one particular channel that's all they do, nature videos. They go all around with nature videos, and then they put scripture verses right next to it. So I think that's fantastic. I love it, absolutely love it. I could see that thing almost all day. Sometimes I could stay there. I'd be writing down the verses. They have like different topics. So I think that's fantastic. Maybe that might be something. Also, I was thinking of maybe doing a couple of dancing videos. There's this woman that she does a lot of dancing on Facebook. So I thought to myself, I said, that might be funny, having me trying to imagine situation with the double stroke 40 months ago, and just right now being able to go to church without using the walker. And if I can imitate her dance moves, huh? I think that might be cool. I think that might be funny. You know, of course, some people might say, "Oh, you're doing this, you're doing that," but I don't care what people say. You know me. I really don't care what people think. I'm not a follower. I'm a leader. If they want to lead, let them lead. I'm not going to follow them most likely, and if I do, it's going to be for my adventures, not theirs, right? But I do like to do funny things, and if I think they're funny, it's getting done. I don't care if you like it or not. All right, I think we're at the 37-minute mark. So take care, everybody. Pray that you subscribe and like. And adios, amigo. Bye bye.